everybody. So we are finally live. Sorry, we are slightly late. We were just chatting behind the scenes and got a wee bit carried away with ourselves, didn't we, Arianne? But we're here now. So wherever you are in the world, let us know. If you're watching on replay, again, just let us know in the comments when you're watching back. So welcome, Arianne.
Yay!
I am so excited to have you here because do you know what? I absolutely adore your book.
Good to hear.
Wait till you see this book. Honestly, I am highlighting parts of it the whole way through it. It's just a breath of fresh air. But before we get into your book, we should maybe introduce you.
I would love that.
Yes, tell us all about yourself, Arianne. I know that you are a dog lover. You're also a very experienced dog behaviourist and trainer. Is that right? And a spiritual guru or coach as well. So tell us more about that.
All right. Thank you. I'm so blessed that I'm here, that I met you on social media, because that is the good part from social media, that we meet people all over the world. And there we are. I'm from Canada. You're in the UK.
Yes,
UK.
Scotland, yes.
Nice. Oh, this is so awesome. So hello, everyone from Canada. I am Arianne Durand. I'm a mom of four teenagers right now. Or the first one is already 20 now. So, and I have right now 3 dogs. I am 30 years a dog trainer, and I went to the whole evolution of dog training, how we did that 30 years ago, all the way till now. And I changed my approach a lot, because it is not just fixing the dog anymore. We have so much behavioral issues, not because the dogs are getting worse, but because we don't know how to interact anymore. We don't understand our dogs anymore. And we're hoping that we can fix it by controlling them. But that's not the way.
That's amazing. How would you say, when would you say the shift came for you then? What was the kind of epiphany moment in your career when you finally realized that things had to change?
Yeah, thank you for asking, because that is huge. I need to say that 30 years ago, I had the most amazing instructor that coached me already, and that was a dog instructor, and there was a psychologist already involved. So 30 years ago, I already started to understand it's not just about the dogs. But in those years, I was still, besides talking with the people and kind of inspiring the people, I was still helping the people to fix their dog. And then in our lockdown, right, 2020, we know it all. I was here in the home with 4 teenagers and a brand new puppy. So I needed to not just raise that puppy, but I needed to inspire my kids to be part of that whole process as well. And you know what? Controlling a puppy and kids in a lockdown doesn't really work. So it became one of my like right now, one of my best things that I learned is we played games and we were interacting with each other, not because we needed to, but because we wanted to. And the puppy is literally raised by all of us. And that's the good part. And there was nothing better. I'm so blessed that we just had a puppy before lockdown, because at the end, it really carried us through the whole time.
I absolutely love that you've had that experience as well, because you hear so many sad stories of families bringing in puppies over lockdown and having a completely different experience. It's just to have your kind of experience where it brought the family together. So would you, in your opinion then, when you compare it to your other 2 dogs, would you say that there's a significant difference for the better between how you raised your puppy over lockdown and your other 2 dogs prior to lockdown?
So I don't have any dogs prior to COVID anymore. So the other ones came after. Yeah. So they are even better. So one came, the oldest is now 5 years old. So that was the brand new puppy during the lockdown. And then we have one 4 years old. came also in that lockdown because,
Yeah.
like, can you imagine my kids, teenagers, were at home online school for 2.5 years. That's how long we had it. So, in the second year, we got a rescue dog who was only 10 months old, but we were the fifth owner. So you
Oh
can
God.
imagine how much stress and how much anxiety that dog had. But you know what? That dog was meant to be with us. And that dog became my oldest daughter's dog. And he literally helped her through the hard times of online school where it wasn't really fun anymore. But he was sitting beside her on a chair. And anytime when she had a hard time and her emotions came up, he came to her and he kind of nurtured her in the moment. And on the other side, we started to put all the things that we learned with the first puppy in lockdown. We addressed that with the rescue dog who had, like, he had so much fear of being hit. I think he's abused so
Oh,
bad. So we really needed to work on patience, on trust, on feeling safe before he can even be confident, right? But we did that all because he was helping us
yeah.
and we could help him. So he was the second dog who really, with all these lessons, worked through this, and it paid off. It literally pays off. You need to watch your dog and not pushing your dog through things anymore, right? A dog who has fears for certain things, be more patient and try to understand how we can support them to not feel that way.
Yeah.
So even my book and everything I do is based on that. Why are we trying to push our beliefs onto the dog? But the dog doesn't have a say anymore. But if we turn it around, we can be so much more in harmony and have that love and support that we get from the dogs. We really can receive that and give it back.
I love the word harmony. It's just such a beautiful word, isn't it? It just makes you so warm inside. That's one of the things that I loved about your book when I was reading it, as well as you talk an awful lot about energy and how dogs can, read our energy really well, and how we feel transfers onto them and vice versa. And it's just this unified, very harmonious and synchronized bond. So tell us more about your book then, because I'm itching to find out the motivation behind it, but also just, yeah, everything, like just everything. Tell me
Now
everything.
let's start with the picture, right?
Yes.
So this is my puppy in lockdown. The
Okay.
oldest is Joy, right? So she was the first one. Then we had Charlie, that was the rescue one, who is not on the picture because it's actually my daughter's dog and not mine. But my daughter lives still here, so he's still living with us. And then we have Luna, and Luna is a puppy. She is 1.5 years old now, and she is literally raised just with all the things I know now. And she is so happy, harmonious, and everything in it. So, and then my friend made this picture because I think this so much show how much we can live in harmony and understanding and open ourselves up for the perspective of the dogs, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's why it's called Be the Change, because instead of fixing the dog, let's see the other side. Take responsibility. We have
Yes.
so much behavior that shows in the dog, but it actually comes because we motivated it, or we, with our doubts and our uncertainties, we carried it over to the dog. The dog didn't know what to do. If and what you said, it's all about energy. But if our energy doesn't match with what we ask from the dog, then the dog is like, sorry, I don't get the message, because the dog is feeling your energy, but your words are completely different, because what we are taught as human is we use our words in our communication, but the value actually is in the energy, because you cannot fake your energy. You can fake your words. You can say you have a happy day while you're not, right?
Yeah.
But dogs know, even if you say I have a happy day, your dog is like, don't pretend you're not.
Do you know what? I'll never forget my late Tibetan Mastiff Louis was so in tune with how I felt every single day. And I used to get terrible panic attacks. And it was as though sometimes I wouldn't even know they were coming on, but sometimes he would come up and he would put all his weight on my body. And it was as though he could sense before
Yes.
they even began that
Yeah.
was about to happen. And it just brought a sense of calmness to me. And it's just amazing to see that is possible. I mean, you read about it and there's lots of scientific reports about it, but you don't quite believe it until
Yeah.
you see it for yourself, and it's
But isn't
incredible. It's absolutely,
isn't that so wonderful what they can give to us?
yeah,
It's just we closed off so much of their lessons that they give us, right? And I even talk about it. There's so many lessons that they have for us, but we don't see it anymore because we're too busy, we're stressed, we're not even open to change anything. But if we start to become a little bit more curious and start to ask the question instead of judging their behavior, but ask the question and say like, why would my dog do that right now? Why?
yeah,
And that's the big thing. And you know what? And that's why I wrote the book with big be the change and smaller for your dog. Because
yeah,
if you can be the change for your dog and your relationship with your dog gets in harmony, in balance, in seeing each other, being valued by each other, guess what? You can do that in life too. You can do that with your kids. You can do that with your spouse. You can do that in your business. You can do it anywhere. And it's nothing better to practice your skills with your dog because they don't judge. They give you love even if you make mistakes. They're fine.
yeah, yeah. So that's obviously where the spiritual side of things come in from what you do and what you kind of teach as well, isn't it? So tell us more about the spiritual side of things and obviously how you incorporate that in your work.
Yeah. So I am right now, I'm not training any dogs anymore. I'm just training the people.
I love that. No, but I
I
love it. Can you teach me?
yeah. So I teach the people, the dog owners, the dog lovers, right?
Yeah,
Because we have those hidden fears, uncertainty, anxiety, right? You just said
yeah,
it. I
yeah,
had the anxiety attacks. And you know what? In those times, I bet you felt only safe with your dog because your dog still saw you. So I want to break it open and say, like, hey, you know what? I see you too. I
mhm,
see that you feel those feelings. Do you want to change that? Are you open to feel different? Because if you feel different, your dog will feel different too.
yeah,
And in those times of anxiety attacks and things like that, your dog is there for you, but you're not the leader that you need to be to help your dog through the same times because your dog has them too.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, you talk about it so much in your book. Like I've literally, like I say, I've highlighted so many things, and I'm actually tempted to have them put onto like big A4 bits of paper and just stick them different places in the home because it does bring you back to the present moment.
Yes.
I think as people, we tend to just over dramatize everything. Everything's the biggest deal in the world, and yet if you look at your dogs, it's like you say, they're very much in the present. They're very good at kind of controlling our emotions a lot of the time, whereas we're just completely ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah. But I'm sure it's not just you on your own with your dogs, but you recognized with your grooming as well, right?
Yep. Yeah, there's so much happening in a grooming environment, and it's quite interesting that obviously you have such a strong emphasis on working with the people rather than the dogs. Because the very first module of my course is all about self care, and it's all about getting to roots with yourself, making sure that you understand what you need in order to thrive and feel
Yes.
safe and feel happy and secure. If you
Yeah.
can't be that person, then there's no chance you're going to have like harmony in the grooming environment, because it's like you say again, dogs will mirror that energy and it's not going to be as low stress as what it could be. So it's everything that you speak about in your book, it really echoes with the ethos of our academy, which is why I really wanted you to speak today, because I was so excited. I could have peed glitter. I'm not even joking. This lady definitely needs to come on and just talk about her book, because I think it's such an important message that everybody has to kind of take seriously and actually step into their vulnerabilities and see what
Yes.
magic can happen, you know.
And do it with your dog, because
Yeah.
it's a safe environment. Your dog never judges. Your dog will not see it as a failure. Your dog is there to support you. But also, if you work through your own insecurities, anxieties, uncertainties, fears, whatever, your
Mm-hmm.
dog is showing when you work through it. I'm still there, and it makes it even a stronger bond, because now you cannot just show up for yourself, but you can also show up for your dog. And that's the part where we forgot a little bit in this world. We think that the dogs are just here for us to do what we want. and
Yeah.
and be the change is literally saying, hey, you know what, as a dog owner, you have a responsibility, because a dog is a social animal, so you need to be a leader with your dog.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot just benefit from the dog. You literally have to show up. You need to take responsibility. And don't take responsibility in a way that you think your dog cannot do anything, because that's the other part, right? You just talked about the drama circle that is going on. But there's so many people who love to care about for others, and also for their dogs, that have like maybe 20 rescue dogs because they love to care. But you know what? They give everything away, and they forget that someone needs to fill up their cup. Otherwise, there is no
Yeah.
care anymore.
So what sort of things do you do to fill your cup then? What are your self-care rituals?
For myself, oh, I have so
Perfect.
many things that I do, because I know now how important it is, right? And
Yeah.
self care isn't selfish, because that's the other kind of belief that we have in this world. Self care is selfish. No,
It's so
how can
true.
you? Right? You
Yeah.
need to take care of yourself, because nobody else does it. You need to do that.
Yeah.
So if you take care of yourself, then everything changes around you. Then you start to become real, right? You're real you. And I do that with I love to we are in the country living, and I love to go bare feet outside, feel everything in my feet. I love to garden, I love to walk my dogs, I just love to be outside. But you know what, self-care might be also that I'm just exhausted today and I just take an hour sleep. That's self-care too,
Yeah.
right? There's so
Yeah.
many things. Don't judge yourself, but give in and say like, hey, you know what, this is right now the best for me to show up after it again.
I love that you've said that, because I say this to my students all the time. I say there's no harm in saying to a client one day, you know, I'm really just not feeling myself today. Can we postpone? Can we reschedule? It is what it is. Rather than pushing yourself through a really low day, like taking that time and listening to your body and actually giving yourself time to let it pass.
Yeah.
It's such a taboo subject, self-care, isn't it? People, and it's so true. You feel, and I think even more when you're a mum, you feel even worse for taking time off for yourself, because you feel like you should be giving that time to your
Yeah,
children.
I know, but yeah, you know what, you need to, even as a mom of I have four, I don't know how many you
I have
have.
three, so you're one worse than me.
All right, so but mine are a little
Way
older
more.
already, right? I already have them older. But like with four kids,
Yeah,
I'm up at 5:30 in the morning. I'm doing my own workout, and then I have a cold plunge every day. I love it, especially in the winter, right? In the summer we don't have really cold plunge, but And it doesn't matter if it's -20, I'm still in. Why? Because that is taking a challenge that I can do every time. When I go in, I'm like, I did it. I can do it. I can do hard things. Self-care is showing how you can go out of your comfort zone and expand it
Yeah.
even more. It's so fun. So find your time. And if you tell me that you're too busy, then go up and half an hour earlier and do something for you.
It reminds me of what Arnold Schwarzenegger said. He said, people say that they don't have enough time to do something. Well, my advice to you is to sleep faster. And it always rings in my head because it's one of the common complaints that I make all the time to my husband. It's, I don't have time for that, Scott, because he's very much into his self-care. He's a personal trainer and he's a holistic therapist. So he's very much, and you would think that would be quite good at self-discipline, but not at all. And he's like, you do have time, you're just not making it.
Yes. And it's true. And you know what?
Yeah.
We are judging ourselves the most. It's not even all the people around us, but we're judging ourselves. We're thinking like, sorry, no, I cannot do that because I need to do this, this, and this. And I was one of them. And there was a time that when you ask somebody, hey, how is it going? They always say like, I'm so busy. They were proud to be busy. I thought like, whoa. And then a couple years later, and you ask like, how is it going? I'm so busy. I'm really busy. I thought like, oh my gosh, it looks like you need an award for being busy, right?
And there's no wonder then that you have dogs at home who are really high rate and really anxious and just not able to be the best version of themselves because they've got that atmosphere and that energy in the household. Yeah.
Yes, and that's where a lot of behavior issues are coming from because we are busy. We don't even pay attention to the signals that our dogs give, and we're motivating certain behaviors that we're not even aware of. So what I am doing is we're breaking down patterns that the dog shows, and where do they coming from? Oh, maybe it's because I don't feel, or I feel certain emotions.
Yeah.
But I'm not even honest about it, right?
Yeah.
And the book is kind of a guidance from, like, the whole book is kind of a step-by-step journey where I try to guide you through all the steps till the end, where you have tools where you can do it on your own. But even if you read it and you're like, I still cannot do this alone, then find me, because there is a way I can help you through it. But there is also a way with the book where you can do it on your own.
I love the bit. I'm not going to give too much away because honestly, if you are watching, I thoroughly, I just nearly knocked myself out with your book. I thoroughly recommend the book, but there is a part of it, page 36, and you talk about the path of flow. Do you know, it really resonates with me as well because we have a river nearby that I go with my dogs, and it's just watching that river. It is the most calming thing. So that really did actually strike a chord with me because I thought I can actually visualize this.
Yes.
Imagine a river flowing effortlessly, flowing into its natural course. That's the flow we seek in life. Challenges aren't roadblocks, but invitations to grow. Trust the journey, surrender to the current, and co-create with the universe. I mean, it's just beautiful. It just...
It is the truth, right? If we have an obstacle in the flow, we think like, oh my gosh, how do I do that? I cannot do this anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe you just need to go around.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a detour. And you know what? Every detour is anchoring in more what you want.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why you need a detour, because sometimes we're losing why we really want that. Is the determination still there? Mm-hmm. And do you want it for yourself, or do you want it because other people tell you that you need that? You need to do it for you. That's the only reason. And one of my my exercises in my course is the silent bonding. Like, we have dogs on the leash because we are afraid that they do all kind of things, right? Okay. But you know what? start to sit, and you can do this in your own home. Sit on a spot and be completely present, and then start to think about, just thinking about, don't say anything to your dog, but just think about your dog and how much you love your dog. You know what? It doesn't take long, and your dog will all snuggle with you because they
Oh,
feel that. Just do it. Just practice it. Just feel it yourself, because this is what you want. And that leash, it's nice to have a leash, but that doesn't take away your energy,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah. And you are told an awful lot as well, I think, through training and whatnot, that the energy transfers through the leash, but it's not necessarily the case either. It can travel without the leash as well. So it's not even just as though you have to be physically touching a dog for
No.
your energy and emotions to influence the dog.
Yes.
It's
So we have about a 9-meter circle around us, where the energy in that circle goes through us and out again. It's kind of going this way. Yeah. Yeah. It's the holographic field, right, around us. So have you ever felt that you come into a room and you're like, I'm not sure about those people here, right?
Yes.
And you haven't said a word, you haven't touched anybody, but you feel that way, right? You're like, I'm not sure. Or sometimes you just match with somebody. You see somebody and it's like, I have seen you forever. That's the other part, right?
Yeah.
You know what? That is that holographic field around us, and we cannot fake it. So what we attract to us is who we are. So that you got attracted to me is because we are similar. We are having so much of the beliefs the same. We might use it different, but we have the same belief. That's why we are attracted to each other.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what we start to open ourselves up. We cannot fake energy. So just start to be aware of your own energy, because only awareness can change it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have lived all your life this way because nobody told you that you could start thinking about it, then you cannot change it. You need to see it before you can change it.
I could listen to you for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, honestly. You mentioned you have a course as well, so tell us more about that then.
Yeah, thank you for asking. My course is Lead with Purpose.
Okay.
So that is the course, and I can send you the link if you want to add it in there, or I can put it in the comments anyway. It is literally guiding you through where you are now, and with all exercises, worksheets, education, and coaching. And it's a lot of self-study. You don't have to do it in my time, because I know you have a different time, right? And all those time differences are very confusing.
I'm so confused. Honestly.
But we have coaching as well in there. And you know what? If you get through it, you start to become a leader with trust, confidence, and connection. And that's what we want. And if you can do that with your dog, you can do that with everything in your life, with any relationships around you, but also with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's trying to step away from, I think a lot of people hear the terms leader and they automatically go to that default alpha. You know,
control.
Control. Yeah, I want to control. And it's again, it's something that I just love about your message, is that you're shifting that perspective and you're changing the definition. And it makes total sense. It makes so much sense. It's probably a form of healing in a way for me, as I've been reading
it. I'm so glad to hear. I love that.
I do definitely think that, because I have a wee poodle here, actually. She's we've got 3 dogs as well, and she's very, very high rate. She's very anxious, very licky, and you have so much pressure. See, as a dog professional, you have so much pressure to have that perfect dog, because you think, what will other people think if they see this dog behaving this way? And then when I read your book, I was like, It's my anxiety that's causing her to be anxious.
Yes, it totally is. So now you can imagine also, like when I got kids, I was a dog trainer already for so long, and then I got kids, and my dogs didn't always listen because I was busy with my kids, and then
Yeah.
my dogs ran away, or when I was busy with the dogs, my kids did. It was there was, and you can you imagine how you felt as a dog
Oh,
trainer, right? I felt like, oh my gosh, I cannot do anything right.
yeah.
But you know what? You don't have to be right in everything. You just need to be in the moment and give yourself permission that you can make mistakes. Because at the end, the dogs never really run away and the kids were still with me, right? And
Yeah.
all together, it works.
Do you see quite a big shift in how people are seeing the relationship with dogs since you've kind of been more actively sending out this message? Like, are people quite receptive to it?
Yes, there is
Yeah.
still a small part of the world is so much awake that they are open for it.
Yeah.
So I wrote this book because my heart is there. And I want, like, my mission is literally, I want to change this world with one dog at a time because I need the dog to bring the people to me, right?
Yeah.
And, but but not everyone is open. But you know what? On the other side, I don't need everyone. I just need one at a time. And if you can make a shift, you can ripple that
I was
effect
going to
through the
say, yeah.
world. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is beautiful, and I think that the world cannot wait to shift from inspiring each other instead to controlling each other, because that control, I think we have enough of it.
You said that in your book as well, the word, it was inspire. What was it you said? And I was like, oh, that was good. That was really good. And it was to do with inspiring. Your word choices is it just speaks to the heart. And I think that's what really captures your attention when you're reading it. But you did mention about being inspiring and inspire, and it was just lovely. You also said don't stay fixated on your dog's behavior. Instead, see it, feel it, and free it. I mean,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
guys.
Yeah, because we're so like, oh, my dog didn't listen. And then feel what it feels for you when your dog is not listening, right? And I needed to work through disappointment because I was the dog trainer. Why did they not listen, right? So
Yeah,
I need to feel it first, because if you don't feel it, if you kind of step over that step, it will stay in your body and it will come back somewhere when you don't want it either.
yeah,
And then, you know what? If you feel it, we only feel up to 15 minutes if we don't motivate the feeling more by calling everybody and telling everyone. And
yeah,
but if we just feel it, it just goes. And it is within 15 minutes. It's never longer. It's never longer unless we keep repeating our thoughts to keep repeating that feeling, because that is the drama in it. That is the way how we think we get attention, or we spread it on social media, or we call friends and we talk more about it, and then we start to think about it. And now we had a problem, and we made it not just 50 minutes, but we made it 3 days
yeah,
because we're still talking about the same problem.
yeah,
So free it by not engaging with it, but just feel it. It's
yeah,
okay. We are living in a rough world, in a world that made us that doesn't made us vulnerable anymore. So step up. If you step up and be vulnerable, you are freeing all those emotions that you don't need to
yeah,
carry forward, right?
yeah. So, if you were to choose one key lesson for people to take away after reading your book, what would it be?
Inspire. And
Yeah.
you can only inspire if you know who you are. And that's where
Powerful.
self-care comes in, right? So
Yeah.
so so start to explore who you are. Are you pretending? Are you doing things for others? Are you doing it because you want it? But it starts with you.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you explore, that's okay. Because anything you start to see, guess what? Now you can change. And if you really truly live who you are, inspiring is the next step. It's that easy.
Oh my goodness. So are your kids quite on board then with all of the things that you do? They must be quite calm.
So
Not
I'll
like
tell
my
you what. I have 3 girls and 1 boy, and the boy
okay.
is the last one. So my girls are 20, 18, 17, and my boy is 15. My boy is really the teenager that will try to get every belief to try to tackle it. So he
Oh,
said, like, yeah, you with your inspire. No, 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 we need to control. So, but the fun part is he is literally trying to get to the boundaries to find out for himself,
yeah.
is it really working or not? And you know
Yeah.
what? I am so grounded in that I believe that inspire is so much better than control, that it doesn't matter what he does,
Yeah.
he can
He'll come
explore
back.
his own thing, but at the end, it works. So are my kids on board? The oldest two definitely. The third one is getting there, and the last one, the boy, I don't think it take long, and he is there too. But he's a boy, right? He wants to be strong and controlling because the world
Yeah.
tells him. That's
Yeah.
that's how they teach it at school. That's how everything is taught. So
Yeah.
you cannot blame him. It's just he's trying to figure out who he is.
And how do you work, obviously, because you're a multi-dog household, you're like me.
Yeah.
How do you manage the dynamics of different personalities as well when it comes to your dogs? Do you
Yeah.
spend time
There
separate
is
with
not one dog the same
yeah,
as kids, right? There's not one kid the same. We're
yeah,
all unique. We're all unique. And you know what? I'm having 3 dogs that, of course, they want attention, but they want different attention.
yeah,
And and it is inspiring them, is figuring out what is the connection that you have with each of them and work on that. And like my last one, Luna, the black Labrador, she loves to play with everyone. But as soon as there is uncertainty or somebody drives up and the other dogs start to bark and she's like, I don't know what to do, guess
yeah,
where she's running to?
yeah,
She's coming right beside me because she knows that I am her safe zone. She
yeah,
trusts me completely. And that's okay. So I still have that connection, even when she plays with everyone. So it, that jealousy part is not with the dogs, it's with us. We think that. And if we think that our dogs are jealous, 9 out of 10, there's something from that in us, but we don't like it. And that's okay. But if you start to explore that you have that in you, then you can change.
yeah,
You can change it. You don't have to stay that way because it only comes from fear, and you don't have to have that fear if you choose to redirect it. So dogs are not jealous. They ask attention, but on different ways, and it's up to you how you show up.
it's such a breath of fresh air to listen to your perspective of things because it's just so much more positive. And it makes you feel a wee bit more reassured that you've got a direction now to go forward. So I know now
Yay!
I need to work on myself before I put
Yes.
expectations onto
Yeah.
my dog's
Yeah.
misbehaving.
And
Because
guess what? So your dog is showing that, and now you can make the decision what you want to do with it.
yeah,
That's up to you, right? And if you start to realize that your dog is just showing you the patterns, the mirroring part from your behavior, right? If you
mhm,
start to open yourself up, you can do yourself things, but you can also go and work into my program or something. And then it doesn't work just for you and your dog, but it works for you and your kids and you and your business. Everything works because at the end, it's your energy, it's your holographic field, right? 9 meters around you. And guess what? It even works on Zoom or on StreamYard. We're here on
Yeah,
StreamYard, right?
I feel so much more positive just speaking with
Yeah.
you today. And I'm sure the viewers on the screen as well are feeling that energy. It's so
Yeah.
contagious.
So even here, that's
Yeah.
why like Reiki people start to do things online. Why? Because it does work. Energy go through here too.
Yeah.
That holographic field is not just here, but it is here too with you.
Yeah. Yeah. So you were speaking more about your course as well. So if you are interested in taking your course, if a person were to be interested with the name Stephanie, where do we go then? So tell us more about how that works.
So I will send you the link, but it is leadwithpurpose.joyfulsupport.com.
Okay.
And that starts with a video from my story and how I got here. And then if you're really interested and you say like, hey, you know what you're saying, I want that too, then book an appointment because we need to talk about it. I cannot tell you if I can help you or not if I don't know more about you, right?
Yeah.
So we need some time together to explore where you are. And if you are open to have that other perspective that I bring into you. And that's why I say spiritual game changer, because it literally is a game changing mindset. It's looking to the world a little bit different than you do right now.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's definitely something I will be sharing with all of my students because it's such an important message. I would love to have you on to do a sort of introduction webinar to everything that you do in the actual hub space, if that's something you'd be interested in me commissioning you for. To maybe just dip their toes in and see what you're all about. Obviously, I'm sure this is sold out anyway to most people, but if you're interested in doing that, then please let me know because I would love to have you in my private community space at some point as well. But in terms of people watching today, I'm sure that they are more than excited to get hold of your amazing book and also to learn more about your wonderful course. So I'm going to kind of round it up now and let you go because it's 8 o'clock in the morning, or it was at least when we started, and I feel so terrible because I was just saying as well that I am a terrible morning person, so I don't know how you managed to get yourself up and ready, and you're just superwoman, obviously, and actually do this for us today. So thank you so much for your time and also your knowledge and your positive vibes and everything.
Thank you so much for inviting. And you know what? Your way of inviting me into your things, it just matches. It's just meant to be to do things together because together we can reach even more people, right?
That is the ultimate goal, isn't it? To just share the message and just help as many people and their dogs as possible. And it's just such a beautiful thing to work towards. So I'm so glad I came across you. It's just by chance that I did. Like your book.
Nothing is by chance.
Nothing. I know nothing's an accident. And I swear it was at the right time as well. It was one of those low moments. And I thought, oh, what's this? And then I read more about it and I was like, I need to learn more about this. So here we are.
I love to connect with you and to work together. So let's explore together how we can reach more people and bring this message out, because your message is as powerful as my message. And we need more of that, right? So in whatever way we will do it, we will stay working together. So please do that. And thank you for finding me, because you found me earlier than I did.
Thank you so much. And thank you for those who have tuned in live. And for those that are watching in the replay as well, please do let us know. And if you want any support from Arianne or me, just reach out and we will be in touch with you. So that's absolutely fine as well. Have a beautiful day. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you. And
Thank
please
you.
comment down below, because we will get back to you
Yeah.
with the comments. If you have questions, if you want to friend request me here on Facebook, please do, because I would love to know who you are and what your struggles are, because your dog is showing it.
Oh, have a lovely day, everyone.
You too.
See
Bye.
you
Thank
later.
you.
Bye.